Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to have your soul shine? It's time for the Girlfriend Hour. We're so happy to have you here and we can't wait for you to meet our incredible guests. But first, please put your hands together for our wonderful host, the enigmatic Shar Moore.
And welcome back to the best hour of the week, the Girlfriend Hour. I'm so happy that you could join us today. I have a fabulous lineup of special guests ready to share, laugh, cry, wonder and inspire. Get comfy, grab a wine, grab your besties and let's dive in. If you're new to the Girlfriend Hour, we're all about unlocking conversations in support of women, exploring different perspectives on business, relationships, health, wellness, family, friendship and everything in between. Each week, we will also weave in a theme that is top of mind. Today, that is women who buck the trend, women who courageously and unapologetically tread their own path. They don't prescribe to doing things the way everyone else does, nor do they look for validation or approval. They do life their way and they absolutely rock it. We love these women. We love this rebellious spirit, and we call these women feminescence women. After all, as the saying goes, well-behaved women seldom make history. I think I've done everything the wrong way round. Opening a spa in the desert of the Middle East in a dead-end street, launched a magazine without experience, and a TV show without sponsors, and all without any formal education and just a Year 11 report card. Are you living your truth? Are you following your intuition, or are you waiting for validation from others? Good things to ponder, don't you think? We'd love to hear your musings over at our Facebook page, Girlfriend Hour TV, or via our YouTube channel. Join us in on the convo, girlfriends. All right, that's enough from me now. Let's meet the first gorgeous rebel in today's guest lineup. Moana Robinson knows the secret ingredient to a killer outfit. You know you've got a really important presentation or a speech to make to your team, or maybe it's a corporate networking event or a social night out meeting new acquaintances. But that secret ingredient isn't necessarily the perfect outfit. It's actually all about having a deeper understanding of yourself, how you wear it, with confidence, with comfort. Is it as important as what you're wearing? Moana is all kinds of wonderful. She's a business owner, a TEDx speaker, a mother and a grandmother, a life coach and so much more. Please help me give a warm welcome to Moana Robinson. Gorgeous does she look? Oh, thank you so much for joining us on the couch today, Moana.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to chat with you. Let's just get straight in. You're a stylist and an entrepreneur. Tell us what you love the most.
I love helping people, helping women. I really love to get them to see the way that they shine inside. So to bring that inside out so that everybody can see their personality.
What led you to do this kind of work, Moana?
I used to do it in my head all the time. And I used to love taking people shopping. I used to love standing outside the dressing room and getting outfits to try on and things like that. I remember a time my mum was over from New Zealand, another time my auntie was over, and I was helping them get dressed, and all these other women came out and said, does this look good on me? And does this look good on me? And I enjoyed it. So I've always sort of done that anyway.
Yes, absolutely. And it is so important to have self-confidence, which then gives you self-worth. How did you find yours?
Just experience, just going through a few things in life and just getting to really, really know myself, because I really believe that knowing yourself is the key to having confidence.
What are some of the questions you would ask some clients around this topic, Moana?
I would ask them what it is that they really love to do And I also challenge them to find something that they love about themselves. Maybe not about the way they look, but about their personality. And if they can't think of anything, I just help them to think of something.
And is it hard for women to go there? Because I know a lot of women, we do often find it hard, right, to compliment ourselves. We're very good at criticising.
Yeah.
And we look at a photo or someone tags us in something, and the first thing we normally look for is what we don't like. So is it hard? And what questions would you ask someone who's struggling with this?
I would challenge them and keep on challenging them and to find something that they love about themselves. And I do this at women's groups, networking groups. When I do a talk or presentation, I ask them to turn to their partner and find something that they like about their partner, about the way that they look. And then it's a huge topic of a conversation. And then I have to ring the bell or something to get them to stop. And then I ask them to turn to their partner and tell them something they like about themselves, and it's dead silence. And then they start laughing. So I give them a challenge to go home, look in the mirror and find something that they like about themselves, even if it's their shoulders or their eyes or their smile.
Their big toenail. There's got to be something, people.
My favourite part of me is my feet. So that's why I like
You do have lovely feet. And your shoes are gorgeous. Now, you've done your TEDx talk, which is a huge accomplishment. Congratulations. Tell us about that talk.
That talk was something that I hadn't planned on doing, but I'm so pleased that I did it, because it was at a time when everything was very negative, everything to do with COVID. And I just realised that there are so many parts of culture in different countries that we could pull from, the traditions, and use those as a positive influence to go back to remembering the traditions that are special and that keep us going, keep our energy going.
I love that so much. And one of the shows recently we talked about being a student of life, not a student for life.
Yes.
And you constantly keep learning and growing. Tell us what courses you've done and why do you keep going back?
I just love it. I love learning, and constantly at the moment I'm sort of knocking back courses because I don't have time to do them. So I wish I could clone myself and get my other self to go and learn what I want to learn. I'm learning every day, and it's because I just thrive on learning, and I just find it fascinating to learn more and more every day.
It's so true. We're always growing, and it's so important to keep learning. Otherwise, we stop growing. We stop expanding our mind and challenging ourselves. And we can get into our own bubble. And you're a certified life coach. How did you make the transition from styling to life coaching?
I found when I was creating the online program for my website for the styling, the people who were helping me with the videos, they asked me if I'd considered doing life coaching, because I sort of do that anyway when I'm styling. And I thought, I might do a life coaching course. And I loved the coaching so much that I just carried on and did my master's in hypnotherapy and matrix therapy. I did matrix therapies and MBIT coaching, passion and purpose coaching. So, but I love the styling too. So you can't do everything, but it really gives me a deeper understanding of the inside as well as the outside.
Because I'd imagine when you take people into that vulnerable space of a change room and you're looking through people's knickers drawers and going through their wardrobe, and I'm sure you do that because you're paid to do it, not because you just do it.
I actually love going into wardrobes.
You love going through people's knickers drawers?
I don't go that far, but the wardrobes, I love it,
Yeah, it's great. And I'd imagine that brings up a lot of insecurities for women. So how do you handle that? How do you manage them through that?
I do talk to them, and I sort of coach them secretly while I'm going through their wardrobe. There was one client that I had, and she had a lot of clothes. Every time someone gave her clothes, she wouldn't get rid of the ones that didn't suit her.
That might have been me at one point.
No.
There's supposed to be 5 in and 5 out, but I really had a problem saying goodbye.
No, this woman, and she doesn't mind if I talk about it because she wants it to help other people, but her mum was very ill, and every time her mum gave her clothes, she just hung on to them, so she didn't have much space on the bedroom floor left. It was wardrobes. We managed to get a section of the wardrobe tidied up, but even then she felt better. Yeah, and we went and got a hair done and chose some really nice outfits, some go-to outfits from that section.
Amazing. And I'm sure you've had many mentors and teachers in your time, but who's been your greatest?
Well, I'm going to say you.
Oh, no.
Well, no, it's true, Shar. You have mentored me, and I was in another business, and I just sat down in front of you one day and said, I want to be an image consultant. And you said, I've been waiting for you to say that. So I have had a lot of mentors. I didn't
pay you to say that.
No. But it's so true. And I have had a lot of mentors in my life, a lot of coaches, and I really do believe that you can learn so much. I learn from my clients. You know, each time I coach, because I do coaching and styling, and each time I coach someone, I learn from them. And it's just... I just love life at the moment.
Oh, it's amazing. And tell us about your book. We have to talk about your beautiful book.
Oh, my book, this book here. Be Style for
One
Life.
she prepared earlier.
Living with Sass and Style Over 50. I really enjoyed writing that book because it was the practical part of the styling is the back half, but the front part is a little bit about my life and the coaching side of it. And I really do believe that as you get older, they are the wisdom years.
Yes, very much so. I feel like I'm just beginning.
I think once you turn 50, for me, once I turned 50, I felt much better than when I was in my 30s.
Definitely. And now that I'm 50, I can read your book.
Yes.
Yay! Thank you so much. Don't go anywhere. We're definitely going to be talking more. I'm excited to introduce our next guest, who is an absolute trailblazer and incredible mumpreneur, founder of House of Vimm. Yes, it is none other than Nikki Belinsky. Nikki started out her career in law. She always had a passion for the boardroom, but knew she wanted to be her own boss. She soon found her calling in skincare and launched the uber successful House of Vimm. Nikki credits the amazing network of women who helped guide her in business and soon wanted to give back to others starting out on their own journey. And her story of how she started her brand is quite amazing. Ladies and gent, please put your hands together for the wonderful, the gorgeous Nikki Bilinsky.
Thank you so much.
I'm so excited to speak with you.
I'm so excited to be here.
You've got to tell us how you came up with your skincare brand. How did you go from law to skincare?
It's a really good question. Let me just start off by saying I hate skincare. So when people talk about, bucking the norm, I definitely have done that. And if you had have asked me 10 years ago, what I would be doing, I would definitely not be starting a skincare brand. But it's funny, I think in life, things sometimes just find you.
Yes.
And this found me when I was on a journey where I'd sort of, I've been trapped in the boardroom, working for someone else, working for the men's club, making someone else money. And I thought, well, I'm not going to get rich if I just stay here. And I don't want someone else to, own my time. I have to get in at, 8 and stay till 6.
I know, they want you to turn up every day.
They actually do.
Every day.
I know, right?
Lunches,
Exactly. So, I'm no time for, being a mum, which I was to a very young baby. And, I remember this time when somebody that I didn't know from my work had met my child for the first time, my daughter, and they were like, oh, she's got an accent. And I'm like, oh my God, she has an accent because she's in daycare for, all of those hours of the day. And it wasn't my accent. So,
always entrepreneurial growing up?
I think, I had the lemon stand. I don't know, did all you guys have those? I think that's a kind of a normal thing as a kid, to have a lemon stand.
I didn't have a lemon stand.
Really?
How old were you?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was just a way to get out of the house, away from the parents, and probably be naughty. Yeah, out the front on the road.
That sounds like you.
So, I think putting the lemon stand aside, I would say I never wanted to listen to my dad. So when he would say to me, you need to do it this way, I would think, I'm not doing it that way. And I had this sense of always owning my own, sort of reality and what I wanted to and what I was guided to do at a very young age, which, obviously parents don't like that because they're like, you must do it this way, which poses an interesting question about how I parent my daughter Scarlett, because I certainly don't want her, I don't want to impose those things on her. I want her to be able to be free to do and make those decisions safely, obviously.
Absolutely.
And, she's still alive, so it's good.
Last check,
yes. Exactly.
Now, being in business, women can be super competitive.
Yeah.
Have you found this in your industry? What have you come across?
I think that we are the most competitive with ourselves. So
say that again. That's really important to land.
Yeah, I think we are the most competitive with ourselves.
Very true.
And so, for example, you would get on social media and you would look at all these posts and you'd be like, well, that business is doing this and this lady's doing this, and then you would make all these comparisons within yourself about other brands and what they're doing, and then you would somehow feel less than what you really are. And so I actually just make it a rule not to look at what anyone else is doing. And in fact, when someone says to me, who's your competitor? I hate that question because I say, you know what I say? I say, nobody, because nobody is me. So therefore nobody can be my competition. And of course, yes, there's, so many skincare brands out there. And of course I could get online and freak out. I said I wasn't going to swear, which I'm
doing
finding really hard. But what's the point in doing that? I mean, it's I think we're so hard on ourselves that why go looking for anything more that's going to sort of bring us down and bring us shame, because really success is all up here.
Yes, 100%. I love that, and I think you and I have actually had that chat, because when I first started to this now beautiful magazine, Feminescence, how gorgeous is she? And Nikki graces the cover of our last issue, you're such a Feminescence woman. And I remember doing some work with someone in the industry, and they said, now go and buy every magazine and then see. And I said, no, because I don't believe in competition. I believe in collaboration.
100%.
And so,
absolutely.
That's the only C word will come out of my mouth. And,
not the only one that will come out of mine.
Oh, no, I will say chocolate, champagne, chips.
Oh, yes.
Yes, they're important ones. And crystals and diamonds, if my husband's still listening. Now,
diamonds?
Did it get your attention? Shiny things. Okay, so valuable piece of advice. What's been the most valuable you've ever been given?
Oh, you know what? I feel like that's a really hard one. I think the most valuable piece of advice I've been given is, if someone else can do it, you can too. Right?
Absolutely.
Right. And so you're only, the only thing holding you back is yourself. That's it, and when you sort of come around to that realization and you realize it can actually be so simple, like in your head, if you cut out all the noise, you cut out all those voices, and quite often people that are close to you will be the ones that are like, you can't do that, or stop doing this, and if you just, it's like from a young age, and I'm like, well, Dad, no, I'm not listening to you, and you kind of, use that muscle and say, I don't really care what other people think. I just want to listen to the voice inside of myself, and then take action from whatever is inside of you. It doesn't matter how small. You can do that every day and watch what happens. And in 6 months' time, you'll look back and you'll think, wow, like how far have I come?
Oh my gosh, I love that. And Nikki, as we wrap up with our chat, tell me what your girlfriends have meant to you over your journey, because it hasn't been easy. Your journey's been, like all of us, it's a roller coaster.
Oh my goodness. Like there have been days that I haven't been able to get out of bed because I thought I'd killed the business and I'd done things that, honestly, when I've got such a long list of those things, but they only make you stronger. But I think I was always told in law, don't ever be friends with the people that you work with. And I really found that hard because
I'm friends with the people I work with.
Yes.
Like, what a silly thing to say.
No, I know. And so I struggled in that environment because I just want to be friends with everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And why shouldn't you be?
Yes.
Because that's how you spend your time.
Most
and I
of
think,
your time.
your best friends can quite often be those, and especially for me, the women that work with me at House of Vimm, and you have a crazy customer that does something really, I'm not going to swear. And we all just jump on the messenger and have a bit of a chat about it. Have a bit of a laugh, And that's what it's all about. It's just having those girlfriends there around you. Yes. And I think it's so important to have that every day, that support, and they've definitely given me that. And I couldn't be here without them, really.
Amazing,
Yes.
ladies. I'm feeling a D&M coming on. Let's join me at the bar.
Okay, yay.
Might bring these cups. Okay, so you've just met two fabulous guests today, and we've heard their incredible stories, but I'm not quite done with them yet. Our next segment is the D&M. Those incredible conversations that give you an opportunity to sound things out with friends, to get their perspectives, to share how they're feeling and try to unpack big ideas or big emotions. Well, I feel like life gets in the way, so as we get older, and the D&Ms tend to be few and far between. So I'm bringing them back. The Girlfriend Hour D&M, the real talk. Today, I'd love to talk about tall poppy syndrome. In Australia, tall poppy syndrome is part of our cultural fabric. It's rife and it's unforgiving. But why? Why do we love to see people find success, but we love even more to make sure that they're put back in their place every opportunity we get? We love the rise, but we love the whiplash of a failure even more. Ladies, what's up with tall poppy?
It's like watching a good car crash, really, isn't it? You can't look away. It's terrible. I think I think in this day and age, we've named it tall poppy syndrome, but really we are so conditioned to look at the negative things. And so when we see something good, it doesn't feel right. Which it's like you turn on the news. There's nothing ever good on the news, right? So same goes for life. I think we're always looking for the negative, and I think the first thing people do is jump to that, and that has a lot to do with why when we see somebody being successful, we sort of instantly look for the flaws, and it's not good.
It's sad, isn't it?
So sad.
Has this happened to you? What are your thoughts?
Not yet, I don't think, that I know of. But someone said to me once that if someone does do that, it means that you're being visible, you're making commotion, you're making somebody jealous or envious, and that's their problem. It's not mine.
Yes.
And
so true. I love that.
I just think if there's someone out there doing really, really well, then it would be really good if young women could be brought up to realise it's good to emulate them and model from them and use them as a role model.
And it seems to be mainly here in Australia for some reason. So if you're watching this somewhere else around the world, it may not be happening in your culture, which is great. But here for some reason, it's someone said to me once, unless they're on the field playing the game with me, if they're sitting in the grandstand, and they're just throwing all this advice and negativity, I'm not going to listen. But if they're on the field playing the game and they've got constructive criticism with love, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. Do you think that's fair? Like if they're actually in the industry or the game, have something to say.
I think so, yeah.
What do you think?
No, I think just shut up.
Yeah.
Well, it's not considered. No. I don't need anything more. Like I'm battling my own, negative thoughts most of the day. We are our own worst enemies. We don't need anyone else coming in and telling us, okay, constructive maybe if you've hired someone to pick something apart, fine. But most of these people that we're talking about, that we don't want their opinions.
That's so true.
Don't say something if you can't, what's that saying your mother said to you? Don't, if it's not nice or whatever, that one. Yes.
And there's so many keyboard warriors now, with social media, and you would have found this in your business, especially in skincare. It's such a competitive industry. It's easy for them to sit at home on their keyboards and, attack. But they realise we've got feelings, people. We have feelings. It happened to me recently.
Yes.
And, I'm a human. Like, I have skin and feelings and emotions, and it's not cool. So we need to stop. But Moana, talk to us about, the feelings that people go through when that happens. It's so hard in business anyway. Nikki, you're spot on. We are our worst critic. Moana, what do you think?
I think it is really important for people to realise it's the other person's issue. It's got absolutely nothing to do with you. As long as you are proud of yourself, as long as you're doing the right thing, as long as you're living your life the best way that you can. And I always like to think about, I think, Nikki, you were talking about it before, about putting the blinkers on. Just put the blinkers on and go for what you want to go for. Hold your ideals true to you, because what's that saying? What someone else thinks of you is not your business.
And I think it's funny in running my business. I've definitely taken tasks as blinders. For example, social media, email responses, things where people are totally nuts. Like, I mean, if I jumped on my Facebook comments, and read them, then that would. That may get into my psyche, and I need to protect that at all costs. It's like, don't turn the news on, right? Protect yourself at all costs. So I hire people to do that for me so that I can stay in the zone that I need to be in. I think it's so important. Yeah.
And I think that it's a big problem and it's not going to be fixed overnight. So the more that we talk about things like this in our D&M, the more that we can bring it to awareness and let people know that if you're experiencing at home, we've got your back, we've got you, we don't feel that way. Jump onto our page, you get lots of love and support on our YouTube channel.
Exactly.
And I just think that the more we water the poppies and less we cut them down, how beautiful will it be in Australia in the future when the whole country is covered with poppies?
Oh my God, collaboration style, right? Love it.
It is. It's all about collaboration and support and sisterhood and girlfriends. Girlfriends are soul food.
They are.
And I don't know, I love my husband, 30 years married. I love my children. I love my grandchildren. You've got grandchildren. You've got a daughter. One day you'll have grandchildren. They are the best. Yeah. But there's something so special about girlfriend love. I know there's many times that I've reached out to you over the years. We've been friends and just needed that support, that guidance. And Miranda, you're so true to what you say all the time. That's their business, Shar, it's not yours. That's their problem, not yours. And it's just that little, yep, you're right. That's their stuff. Yeah. And we do need to learn to separate, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. I always told my daughters, as well as your husband, it's really good to have girlfriends.
That's it.
Amazing. Well, that's been an awesome D&M. Thank you so much to Moana Robinson and Nikki Belinsky for joining us today. We'll be back right after this.
Are you loving the Girlfriend Hour so far? We hope you've been inspired by the wonderful women you've seen sharing their stories. Do you have an inspiring story of your own to share? We're looking for magic just like yours. Be featured in Feminescence magazine and start your own exciting media journey. Join many other fabulous women who've been profiled in Feminescence magazine. Unlock access to an international audience, propel your career and expand your network. Make today the day you back yourself. What are you waiting for? Visit feminescence.com.au to find out more.
All right, girlfriends, who's ready for a little bit of fun? Some of you may have already noticed our fabulous flower wheel behind us here today. Well, it's time for one lucky audience member to come up here and give it a spin and see where it lands. We've got some wonderful prizes from our sponsors. Who's feeling lucky? Show me some love. Come on down, gorgeous. Yes, you in the blue. Yes! Yay! Give her a round of applause. Carefully.
for choosing me.
Pleasure. What's your name?
My name's Jennifer.
Jennifer, come over here, please, Jennifer. And did you bring a friend with you today?
Yes, my friend Tracy.
Tracy, where are you, Tracy? Give her a round of applause. Come on down. Hello, Tracy. Nice to meet you. How gorgeous do you both look? They got the memo, clearly. This is great. How long have you two been friends?
Probably 7 years.
7 years. And we know each other well?
Oh, I'm worried about that.
Actually, it's not that well, actually.
Not that well.
We're getting to know each other more.
Getting to know each other more. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourselves. Jennifer?
I've had a very exciting life. I was in the Air Force for 14 and a half years and I got sick of that because they wouldn't let me colour my hair. So I had to leave and I became a beauty therapist so I could do what
Now you can colour your hair.
And now I do life coaching.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Fantastic. And Tracy?
I've lived on the Gold Coast from Victoria, Melbourne. I've been here for 28 years, moved for the weather, and I'm a matchmaker and qualified counsellor.
Matchmaker. Oh, any single men in the room? Yes. Amazing. Okay, and what have you enjoyed so much from today's show? It's been a takeaway.
Just the inspiration of the women. It's the nuggets that you forget about and then it's just brought it to the surface.
All right, Jennifer, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've lived on the coast for 25 years and I've had a wonderful full life of being in the Air Force for 14 and a half years and then they wouldn't let me colour my hair so I decided to become a beauty therapist and I loved that for 15 years and then from that I did a lot of personal development and I've become a life coach. So it's just wonderful to help people and be around like-minded people.
Oh, it's so inspiring. And Tracy, what about you?
I've lived on the Gold Coast for 28 years from Victoria, Melbourne, moved here for the weather, and I'm a matchmaker and qualified counsellor.
Oh, there you go. Any singles in the room? Amazing, amazing. And what's one takeaway from today's show that you'd like to share?
Having the girlfriend hour is just wonderful and amazing and fun and inspiring.
It's just, I love the questions you ask and it just brings out just lovely, inspiring people and it just brings those little nuggets out and reminders that how good we all are and we just need to be surrounded by people that will bring that out in us.
Oh.
Like my friend Tracy.
Yeah,
that's so lovely. Well done. Thank you. Now, Jennifer, would you like to have a spin in my flower garden? Woo! All right. So what number would you like to land on first?
1.
1. Okay. So we're going to give some vibes for 1? All right. Give her a round of applause. Let's go. That's amazing. Congratulations. You have won an Elite Parties gift pack. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so overwhelmed.
Oh. It's coming. Pleasure. And Tracy. Seeing you're wearing all flowers, Tracy, don't you think Tracy needs a spin of the wheel? Yes, Tracy, give it a spin. Give it a really big spin. But first, tell us, what number would you like?
Oh, 8.
8. Okay, are we ready for vibes for 8? Yes, go for it. Oh, we need a adjudicator. It's 6. It is 6. Congratulations. 6 is a beautiful gift pack from one of our sponsors, S1Ep4, who was on our show recently. It's a supplement and healthcare pack valued at over $200. Congratulations. Amazing. Well, thank you both for coming and picking a flower from our flower garden on the Girlfriend Hour. It's been so lovely to meet you. We'll be back right after this break. Thank you.
It's never too late to become a cover girl. We're looking for incredible women to be profiled in our upcoming issue of Feminescence magazine. Share your story with an international audience, unlock new opportunities, inspire a new network of supporters. It's time to back yourself. We can't wait to hear about the magic that is you. Visit feminescence.com.au to find out more. Come on, what are you waiting for? Carpe diem, girlfriend.
She decided to follow her passion for fashion and took a chance at her own fashion line. From construction site to sewing machine, Amber backed herself and never looked back. She went on to dress the famous, appear as a contestant on Project Runway, then launch an incredibly successful stylist business. She's since learned to scale her skills through online learning for other budding entrepreneurs. Let's welcome to the Girlfriend Hour the super stylish Amber Renee. Wow, 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 wow. Super stylish.
Girlfriend hour. This is what I wear when I'm hanging with my girlfriend. Don't you?
Absolutely. I have so many questions for you. How does a fashionista begin her life as a civil engineer?
Well, it's more like how did I get into civil engineering, which was a bit of a weird start. Like I was always destined to be a fashionista. My very first side hustle was in year 8. I started making little crop tops for my friends and selling them for $5 a pop at school. So I was always going to be a fashionpreneur way back in the day. But I guess I just did the thing that you were supposed to do back then, Shar. I got the good degree, I got the good job, and I settled into what everyone thought I was supposed to do, you know, and then I realized that it just wasn't my passion, wasn't what I was interested in doing.
And how was it on a construction site? I bet you stood out a little bit.
A little bit, and this was 15 years ago. So this was we hadn't quite reached the level of gender neutrality that we are now. But I used to rock a very urban chic vibe on the construction site, and I painted my steel cap boots pink, and my nickname was Pinky. So it was pretty fun.
And how did you manage that? It would have been a tough environment, and I'm sure there would have been some comments or feelings around you in that space. So how did you get through that?
I guess as a female, I was actually a really great engineer because I had no ego and I had ears open, mouth closed. So when I was on the site, I was listening to my foreman. I was there to serve them. You know, I didn't for a second think that I knew how to build a road better than someone who'd been doing it for 40 years. So I actually found that as a female engineer, I was really quite successful, and we ended up being a very successful team because of the qualities that females naturally have, which is to help and to listen and to communicate better. And, you know, it was just a very resourceful kind of project management role, which the skills that I learned in that industry, I've now taken on to all of the businesses that I've grown since then.
Gee, that's amazing. And tell us the moment that you were standing there one day at work and decided to become a fashionista.
You know, I was on the construction site with my pink boots and my little chic outfit, and I was flipping my construction plans over and sketching dresses on the back of my plans. And it was like, you need to get out of here. You need to go and do something with this. But it was never a big, I'm going to go and create this global fashion brand. I just thought, I'm not happy here, and I know this isn't it. Like I was looking at the career path and I knew this wasn't going to be, you know, this was never going to fulfill me. So I quit that job and I just started following my bliss. Like I never set out to build a great brand. I just thought I just am passionate about getting on the sewing machine every day. So that's all I did. I just made a few shirts the first week. I took them to the cool boutique in Brisbane and they bought 4 shirts the first week. And the next week I made 8 shirts and they bought 8 shirts. And from there we grew into an international fashion brand with 120 accounts around the world. And we did runway shows everywhere. But it's thank you. What I always say is that, you know, when people are trying to figure out their purpose and what their business should look like, I always just say follow your bliss, because the universe will open doors where before there were only walls. And most people, you know, if you just follow what you're into each day, don't expect it to pay your bills, don't expect it to feed you, but expect that it's going to fulfill you. Yes. And that's where abundance comes from.
Oh, so many points I want to cover in there. Just so many. There's one you said earlier around sometimes we look for that blinding flash of the obvious. Like there's this big monumental moment that takes place and we go, I'm going to become a fashionista. No, it was just sketching, looking at it, going, maybe there's something in this. And I think that's a really important note for all of us to take home, that it doesn't need to be something massive that happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be that small little whisper.
And it's often not the big thing. It's usually the first little steps that lead into the big thing.
And so you're also a TV presenter and stylist to the stars. That takes someone with very thick skin. How do you cope? Give me some tips, please.
You are doing great, Shar. I don't think you need any tips. Look, I loved both of those roles, and I was a fashion editor at the same time. So I just thought I was living my best fashion life. So yes, I think with everything, there are negatives to every job that you do. Even this job, there are negatives to everything, but it's whether the good parts really outweigh the bad parts and whether you're willing to put up with the bad parts. And I think I always was really willing. I loved being a fashionista. I loved being on TV and doing styling and, working with stars. It was so much fun. And I thought I would do it for the rest of my life, but the universe had other plans. So when the GFC effectively hit Australia, I lost all of my contracts in the space of a month, and I could never imagine anything beyond that life. I thought I would have that life for the rest of my life. And then the universe took it all away from me very quickly, and I once again had to re-envision what my life was going to look like. And now the life I'm living is far more fulfilling and lights me up in so many more ways, and I would never have chosen it.
See, that's really amazing for me, because you said that a few times, that you thought that was going to be the rest of your life and that was it. I'm done. Here's my lane. And the universe had other plans. So is there a message in there for all of us around trust?
Trust and failure and building resilience. I think like a lot of us, when we have a setback or when we are subject to a failure, we think, oh, well, it wasn't supposed to be, I'll go back to my engineering job, or I'll go back and be small, and I won't try and be big again. I won't try and step out of my box again. I'll just settle back into this nice little safe environment. And, you never know what's waiting for you when you step out of your box again, and when you try and, show up, and even just when you try and follow your bliss again.
That's so true. And I was facing bankruptcy after the 2011 Queensland floods, and it's on my Broke to BMW journey, which was the name of a book I wrote after recovering from bankruptcy in 18 months. And it was interesting because I thought I was doing styling. I had a fashion boutique, and I thought, yep, this is me. I love the light up that happens in the change room when you see a woman who's dressed as a mum for so long, she's lost who she is, and then she stands there and goes, that's me. Like, it's so special. And then all of a sudden I fell into magazines because I thought there wasn't something, and it was that moment, like you just said, that just led me to this little whisper that I just kept feeding. We talked today in the opening around the power of living life your way. I love how you've managed to constantly approach this. Give us some tips.
I think it's really important to define what success looks like for you. So for me, success isn't a huge corporate, business with many staff and all the bells and whistles, which I always thought it was supposed to look like. For me, success looks like hardly ever working, taking lots of time off, being able to travel prior to COVID full time, and having a really freedom-based lifestyle. Freedom is my number one value in this life. And so my business, I chase the big hustle and working 7 days a week and earning all this money. And then I realized that actually doesn't light me up. I'd prefer to have a really peaceful, simple life that has nice automation income, which is what my e-courses do for me. And I can just focus on other things like enjoying life rather than working.
So take us from fashionista styling to what you're doing now with your automation courses, because it's fascinating to me. And when I get some downtime, I'm definitely diving in.
So the business that I run now, I teach female entrepreneurs how to start their business. So a lot of the courses are either fashion styling, how to be a fashion stylist, or my most successful course is how to create an online course. So how to take your genius and put it into a course. But again, that business didn't start off as the global brand that's helping thousands of women around the world as it is today. It started off with me going, I have nothing. The GFC had hit. I'd had no contracts. I couldn't get a job. I tried to go back to the construction site. They didn't take me. I had literally nothing. And so all that I had left was the knowledge. I knew how to teach people to become a fashion stylist. That's what I'd done. I was very successful at it. So I just thought, well, I'm just going to put this into an e-course. It was a new thing back then. It was 2015. No one really knew what e-courses were. So I just got my iPhone out, recorded an e-course, and then put it to market. And then because I was so passionate about this new direction, I just studied 18 e-courses in that first year.
18, excuse me?
Yes.
18 e-courses in a year?
It's that passion, you know. I was excited about it. I was following my bliss. On Sunday, I'd wake up and I'd study a course about email marketing or Facebook ads or things like that, which sounds insane, but it was that passion of, oh, this is a new direction that I'm excited about. And again, I didn't start that thinking, oh, this is a new career for me. I just started thinking, this is the end of this career. I'll teach my course, I'll pop my fashion course out there, and then I'll go and do something. I don't know what that is, but that's how it all started. That's how this current business started, just with an idea and a passion, following the bliss.
That's amazing. And Amber, what's some challenges you think women today are facing around the world? Because the last few years has been a shake-up, and there have been a lot of people that have really doubted their abilities and businesses. So tell us some ideas and things that have been going on. You would see this a lot with your clients.
So I think what you've said there is the number one issue that most people face is the self-doubt. So I think every battle that women face is an internal battle, or the hardest battles that women face are the internal battles. So I've had business, this is my third business now, and what I know for a fact is that what happens externally, like the external environment, is nothing in comparison to what I make of that internally. So yes, there's always setbacks, there's always failures. It's business. That's the whole nature of business. It's a roller coaster. So you got to get along for the ride. It's whether you choose to beat yourself up over those setbacks, whether you choose to tell yourself that you're a failure or you're a success. Are you going to learn from what's just happened? Are you going to take it on board, or are you going to spend months wallowing and telling yourself that you're not capable of doing the thing that you've set out to do? So I honestly think...
So no more wallowing, people. No wallowing allowed on the Girlfriend Hour.
That's right.
Yeah. And so support is so important, and I can imagine going through all of those changes. Tell us about your support crew.
I'm really lucky to have girlfriends that I've been friends with for 15, 20 years. And they're just so supportive. And the more that we grow and evolve as people and become more vulnerable and more authentic, the deeper our connections come. And it's just so inspiring to see their own personal journeys, not only in their careers, but now they're all entrepreneurs as well. So we're this group of boss babes, if you will, that, you know, that are all inspiring each other. And it's just so rewarding to see one of your friends just have such incredible success. And you just think, oh my gosh,
I love that.
So happy for you.
Yes, it's so true. And getting that love from girlfriends after they've been part of that journey, isn't it amazing? Here's to girlfriend love. Love it. I could talk to you all day, but as we wrap up, what's 3 pieces of advice you would love to give to a woman in business?
I think getting really clear on what success looks like for you, which is what we've spoken about today. So making sure that you're on the right path for your own happiness. Getting comfortable with failure and building resilience is probably really important as an entrepreneur. And then also finding someone who's done what you want to do and learn from them. So read their blogs, listen to their YouTube, watch, do their e-courses, hire them as a mentor, whatever you need. Make sure that you're getting the right support and the right help from someone who's done what you want to do.
Yes, I love that. That's brilliant. Amber, thank you so much for coming on our show today. It's been absolutely brilliant. Give her a round of applause. Thank you. Does anyone else here have the travel bug again? I mean, I always love to travel. We've lived in 3 countries and our weekends were spent exploring every corner of our new surroundings. So after a couple of years of hardly leaving my postcode, I've got the travel bug again on a whole new level. And I bet I'm not alone. This next segment is all about celebrating the beauty and wonder and oftentimes hilarity of travel. Welcome to Time Out. I've got some rapid fire questions for you. You ready?
Let's do it.
Favourite city?
Chefchaouen in Morocco.
Oh, lost luggage low.
I've actually been pretty okay with lost luggage.
Okay.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Best meal ever.
My best meal is actually at Burning Man in the morning. They serve a bacon and eggs, which is unbelievable, mainly because you don't eat a lot of food out there. So
anything would probably taste
works,
good at that time. Bidet or no bidet?
Oh my gosh, no bidet.
No bidet. What's your top travel tip?
Travel now. Don't wait for a friend. Don't wait for the right time. Travel solo. Go and buy your air ticket this afternoon.
Woo! After this show. Famous in-flight encounters.
Oh, Shar. I couldn't tell.
A girl never tells. Favourite airport?
I actually like Sunny Coast Airport. It's like so chill and easy and lush and green.
What's your biggest first world problem?
Oh my gosh, the travel adapters, especially when you're flying around the world, you've got to pack a whole thing of adapters.
Correct. Do you send postcards?
No, I don't even update my Facebook page.
She's gone MIA.
Don't contact me. I'm out of here.
Strict schedule or go with the flow?
Go with the flow. Get on the flight. No hotel book, no nothing. No return flight, just an onward flight.
Go you. Most awe-inspiring landmark?
In probably the La Alhambra in Spain. Yeah, it's a gardens that are just have a really magical energy to them.
Oh, I need to write that down.
Yeah.
What's on your travel bucket list?
I'm getting back to Burning Man this year. Nothing is stopping me.
Most romantic travel memory?
Gosh, I fall in love pretty much everywhere I go.
So not one you can write home about.
They're all beautiful.
And what do you miss most when you're traveling?
Probably my family.
Family.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amber, thank you so much for being on our show today. It's been amazing. Give her a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. The torch is dedicated to shining a light on lesser known topics, organisations or even events. There are so many incredible people in our community doing wondrous things and providing a voice for those that may be marginalised or in need of extra care and attention. And the Girlfriend Hour is all about helping support and raise awareness of these initiatives. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce our next guest. Justine Whitchurch, an author, a fitness and wellness coach, and a recovering alcoholic. Justine has come on an incredible journey from alcoholism and mental health issues to a thriving entrepreneur. And now she's all about paving it forward and helping others really experience the benefits of physical health, mental health, and self-worth through sobriety. Please welcome to the GFH couch, the amazing, the strong, Justine Whitchurch. Justine, can you tell us about your incredible business and your mission to pay forward the gift of wellness and coaching for women?
Sure. So my business, I always find it difficult to put in a nutshell exactly what my business is, but it evolved and it came to fruition through my own recovery. So I found that health and fitness was the core foundation of me being well. And I started writing and blogging about my recovery journey. And I found that I had an audience and that people were listening, and all of a sudden I was getting messages about, women saying, I feel like I'm you. I'm in that position now, or I've been there, or I'm getting there, and I don't know how to get out. So that I don't know how to get out was what made me realise, I guess, inspired and propelled me to start writing more and starting to coach women through health and fitness and create programs that allowed them to gain the strength to actually get out of their own set of circumstances, so to speak.
And I love that it was through an exercise that you started to rebuild your self-worth. Talk us through that transformation.
Yeah, so an exercise, it was honestly, and it still astounds me, it was a by the way comment by my psychologist during my rehab period actually. And he said, look, I think you should start exercising. And I was pretty much ticking every box that they wanted me to at that particular time. I wasn't a willing participant, but I started exercising, regularly. I was going to the gym, setting myself little challenges, and they were small, but I realised that with everything that I did physically and every milestone that I achieved physically, there was some kind of mental shift as well. And I was gaining strength and momentum, and it was just incredible correlation between physical wellness and psychological wellness. And it just became I call it my foundation of wellness. So everything else just flowed on from that, and it still is today. It's, you know, it was getting sober, it's staying sober, it's you know, having a life where I feel like I've got a modicum of control. So,
and you're a mother of 2, and
Yep.
how has your family been supportive through your journey through sobriety?
it's interesting. I think when people see you getting well, everybody gets on board. Well, I'd like to think so. But my family have been so incredibly supportive. My husband did a 360 life change. He's fitter than I am. He's at the gym 6 times a week, and he still drinks occasionally, but, you know, that was massively reduced. My children were youngish at the time, but they were just like, even though they didn't understand exactly what was going on, they knew whatever I was doing was making me well. So my entire family, extended family as well, were super supportive. If I couldn't get to the gym because I had the kids, they were quick to volunteer. I'll have the kids now so you can go to the gym, because they knew these were the things, the integral parts of what were keeping me on track, and they just wanted to keep me well. So I've been really one of the fortunate ones and had a really large support network that's got me through and continues to this day. So yeah.
And it takes a village, doesn't it? Give her a round of applause like that. Whether you're going through your journey or any journey, it takes a village, and it's asking for help as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
is that a big part of it?
It is. It is asking for help, and depending on where you're at in your journey, can be a complex thing to do, but definitely.
And have you heard of Seed Lip? Tell us about your thoughts around that brand.
Yeah, look, there's great. Anything that I see as being an alternative to drinking is great. I'm a real advocate for trying to change the dialogue around what is normal drinking and is it normal to drink. It doesn't have to be. And I think that's, the alcohol-free drinks are great for people that potentially still feel like they want to be social in that respect. I'm not great with things like that sometimes, because for me, depending on what it is, can be a little bit of a trigger. Some things aren't, but I think it's a brilliant alternative, and it does create an option for people that want to go out and still have something in their hand, and especially those that love the taste of alcohol. Why not? Much healthier alternative.
Definitely. And tell us about the women that you work with. What are some of the things that they come to you with, and how do you help them?
Yeah, look, they range in regards to their adversities that they've got at the time. But I think the overwhelming theme is that they've lost control of their life in some shape or form. I intrinsically, I attract, my clients tend to have alcohol issues, which is fine. It's what I'm good at. I'm not good at fixing, but I'm a lived expert. So I think the outcomes that they get from working with me on my programs or listening to me speak or reading my book are that once they adopt a lifestyle that's based around health and fitness, and that part's really looked after, they tend to then not want to drink as much, or don't feel like drinking as much, or drinking then becomes adverse to whatever else they want to do. So it's like it's shifting that perspective, and for them that could be weight loss, that could be being nicer to their children because they haven't got a hangover 24/7. It could be being motivated enough to exercise, having better abilities in their current jobs. So I think we totally underestimate the impact that alcohol has, even in small amounts, on our everyday life. So gaining control physically, psychologically, and then the byproducts are weight loss, weight gain, whatever it might be for you. They just come as a result.
Fantastic. And Justine, I think we could really talk a lot longer about this topic with you.
Yep.
What's one piece of advice as we wrap up today for anyone watching at home or in our audience that you could give them around self-love?
Yes, that's an interesting one. Self-love and self-care. We talk about self-care all the time. My take on that is you actually have to have the self-love to do the self-care. And that's sometimes hard when you don't love yourself very much. But I think it's being able to pull on the external forces and the things in your life that need you to be the best version of you when you don't love yourself enough, and to look at those and find something that is going to help you be that particular person. So, you know, self-care and self-love, they're all the basic things, looking after your health, mental, physical, you know, all of that type of thing. But as cliche as it is, you got to put on the oxygen mask first. And as women, you know, we're built to nurture and to look after others first, and we're no good to anybody if we're not taking care of who we are before we pass anything on.
That's so true. So look after yourself before you look after anyone else.
Yes.
Justine Whitchurch, thank you so much for being on our
You're
show
welcome.
today.
Thank
It's been
you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. I can't believe that it's the end of another show. What an absolute delight. I loved hearing from all of our guests today, but especially hearing about the successes and perseverance from our guests. We're just loving the rich discussions coming from the GFH couch. So are you ready to live unapologetically and unafraid? Are you ready to stop asking permission and do what feels right for you? It's time to start living your life on your terms. We'd love to hear how you're living your life way over at our Girlfriend Hour page on Facebook or our YouTube channel. Join the community and continue the discussion. We'd love to hear from you. Big love to Joseph Ribkoff for dressing me, Be Styled for Life, our major sponsor, Feminiscence Magazine, and our brilliant production crew for making our show possible. Before I sign off, I wanted to send one more heartfelt thank you to our guests from today's show and all of you at home for watching. I hope I was worthy of your time. See you next time on The Girlfriend Hour.